So the same day that Entertainment Weekly released those images and the article and everything, Rafe Judkins went on Twitter and he said for 5 hours I will pick like the top 5 comments or like random comments that people put in, and I'll answer them for you guys. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's like so much stuff all in one day, so I need to make another video. But before we get into that, guys, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel to keep up with what I'm doing here, and just comment below what you think about Rafe Judkins' comments. They're pretty awesome. I love when he's interacting with the community the way he is, so let's get into it. So the first question was from a fan basically saying, so whose idea was it to give Matt a beard? Rafe has the perfect response to this, and he says that basically he wanted to age up all the younger characters because this series isn't necessarily like a young adult sort of series. It is for older audiences, and he says a lot of the times in these fantasy shows when they basically cast all these young people, it makes it seem like the show is for a younger audience, and he says that's not what the Wheel of Time is, especially near sort of the end of the books. It gets pretty intense. So yeah, I thought that was a perfect response. He was like, we want to get the right audience, we want to get a mature audience for this, so we basically just had to age everybody up. So yeah, I think that was a perfect response. The next question that was asked was, will the dream world be in the Wheel of Time? And Rafe goes on to respond. He's just like, how could we like do Wheel of Time without the dream world? Basically, it's just reassuring to know that Rafe Judkins is signed onto the vision, signed onto like what Robert Jordan was doing in the books and stuff like that, because I know for some people they were thinking that some stuff wouldn't come across on television all that great, and especially with like the channeling and the powers and stuff, and it looks like they're doing a really good job with how channeling is, weaving is done. If you could see in the poster that was released, it looks like that's kind of what it's going to look like. So it's going to be a great representation of what the books were trying to do. And I don't know, I don't think the dream world would come off weird in television. I could see why people would think so, but I think if done obviously correctly, that it would look really cool. So because obviously like the World of Dreams is a very critical role within the world, especially with the magic system, and there's not always just one magic system going on within this world. There's multiple things that are just happening. It's not just this one thing. So it's good to see that it's going to be in there, and he's just signed on for the vision. The next question that's asked is who is always late to set, basically. And Rafe Judkins just he starts answering, but he just keeps putting out like words to avoid the answer, basically, and runs out of text on Twitter, so he can't answer who is actually like late to set all the time, which I think is like super funny. It's kind of a throwaway question, but it's kind of getting like the film culture and stuff like that involved. And you know, when somebody's late to set, I have a background in film production and stuff like that, and film is like always on time. Like you got to be on time or you got to be early, because if you're late, you're going to cost people more money and you're not going to be able to get everything that you need filmed for the day, because there's a lot of money that's going behind all these films. So when people are late, it obviously like hinders the production and stresses everybody out. But you know, if it's actors and stuff like that who are late, you can't like get on the actor too much or anything. You got to kind of like baby the actor, because they need to be able to be in character and stay in character, and when you're like doing all this stuff, it takes them out. So even when they're late, you're trying to be like nice about it, and you're like, okay, like, you know, we just need to get you on set and like whatever. But it's really funny that the community after that, their response was obviously it was Barney, the guy who was playing Matt, because obviously that would seem like a very Matt thing to do, is to never be on time for set. It's funny just to see like the fans reacting and talking about it. I don't know, it might not be Matt, but I think it's funny to just think that it is Matt, it is Barney who's always late, because that would be like such an in-character thing for him to do. So a fan asks if we will see the Forsaken in season 1, and then Rafe Judkins says depends on like how much you know actually of the Forsaken, which is like super cool, because okay, yeah, obviously we are going to see the Forsaken in season 1, especially if we're going to go to the Eye of the World, because we see a lot of Forsaken in the Eye of the World, especially at the end. But obviously I'm thinking of other people who are sort of hidden and hiding and stuff, and I don't want to really spoil too much because the show's coming out, but there's obviously some Forsaken that are hiding and are manipulating and are characters in the show that are Forsaken or working for the Dark One that we don't really know yet, and it's like revealed that they are eventually, and it's like, oh my gosh, this person was a Forsaken the whole time. So yes, if you're looking very closely and you're paying attention, you could see a bit of the Forsaken. I think obviously you need to see the Forsaken in season 1, because those are basically our main antagonist when you're thinking about the Dark One, not just the political like antagonist. So yeah, obviously we're going to see the Forsaken in season 1. The last question is sort of like a really wholesome question from a fan. He's just asking Rafe Judkins like how he's doing, how's he feeling about the fandom going crazy about all these images that were just released and all of that. And Rafe Judkins just responds saying, it's just awesome to be able to interact with everybody, really get in touch with the fandom, get in touch with the fans, and you know what's going on in the community right now. And he's excited to start seeing that community just grow with bringing this television series to light, to be able to bring in like a much broader audience, because obviously no doubt the Wheel of Time fans are going to watch the show whether you love it and you hate it. It's not sort of like Game of Thrones, like people who hated near the end of Game of Thrones that were hardcore fans of the books, they still watched till the end of the season. They had their critiques, like had their complaints, but they still watched it. So he knows like the hardcore fans are definitely, and the main fans of the book are going to watch this show. But he's really excited for broadening that audience, getting a lot more people involved, and just getting a lot more people into Wheel of Time. And I think that's going to be so exciting for the community. And I hope a lot of the people are not pretentious about the books and just like, well, if you read the book then you would know, to like the fans, new fans and stuff like that. But it's like, come on man, like let's bring in these new fans, no gatekeeping. I just want to see everybody enjoy Wheel of Time, especially if it sticks right to the heart and the spine of the books. You'll never get the show as good as the books, like that's never going to happen, so everybody needs to like drop that opinion right now. But you can always enjoy the media for what it is, especially it sticks to Robert Jordan's message and what he was trying to say. So he's just excited to bring in all these new people and just have more and more conversations about Wheel of Time and like what's going on in the community. And that leads me into my last point for the video. I just wanted to say thank you for everybody who's been interacting with the videos. Starting out a channel to be able to talk about fantasy and stuff like that was just to bring an audience together that like fantasy and, you know, anything like that. But I've gotten a lot of engagement with Wheel of Time, and I've found that like really awesome, because I've only been reading the books for about 5 years and I just finished like last year. So I was never really able to like interact with the Wheel of Time community all that much. And it's been awesome just seeing everybody being able to talk about it. And it's like one of the main reasons why I do these videos now, is just to be able to talk with you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching the video, interacting. Would love to hear from you guys of what you think these comments that Rafe Judkins said, and leave a like and subscribe to the channel to keep up with what I'm doing here, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.